श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा। पवित्र पुरुषोत्तम
Hare
मास
Krishna, the pious Purushottam month is going on, and we all from the Padma Puran are listening to the glories and how to observe this Purushottam month. So today we are going to listen to the 14th chapter from Padma Puran, and in the 13th chapter we have heard so far that Sri Sud Goswami is speaking these past times regarding King Dandradva and his prior life is being spoken by Valmiki Rishi. So the sage Valmiki says that in your previous life you were Sudev Brahmana and you had a Gautami named wife, and you were born in Dravid kingdom, and you used to reside on the banks of Tamrapani river, and you were distressed because you didn't had any kids, and you performed austerity for 4,000 years, and Lord Vishnu appeared in front of you, and when you requested to have a son, then what did Lord Vishnu replied? He said that you can ask anything in between all these material universes or worlds. I can give you anything except this son. Then Sudev Brahmana was persistent, adamant. Then Lord Vishnu told that, oh Garuji, why don't do me a favor that you are my stalwart devotee, so why don't you fulfill his desire? So this is where the 13th chapter of Padma Puran concluded, and we heard so far. So Sud Goswami speaks further, and Valmiki Rishi adds to this history. He said that when Lord Vishnu said that Guruji, you give him a boon to beget a son, then in Padma Puran, the glories of this Purushottam in the 14th chapter beginning, Shri Garud Uvacha. So Lord Garud or Garuji said,
द्विज शार्दूल यत्ते जाता हरो मतिः सकाम याथ निष्कामा सकामाप्यथ निष्कामा हरि भक्ति सुख प्रदा हरि भक्ति सुख प्रदा। श्री गरुड़ जी,
so Shri Garuji tells this Sudev Brahmana that Dhanyosi, O Sudevji, you are magnificent, you're great. I am really grateful to you. Oh, the crest jewel of the Brahmanas, because you already has your consciousness and mind focused on Lord Hari. In this world, whose heart and consciousness is towards the Lord, that person is very, very fortunate. Garuji beautifully adds, he says, Sakam Payat Nishkama. So, in this world, the devotion of Lord Hari, if you do with some desire or without any desire, without any ulterior motive, so if we do with some desire or with desirelessness or without any ulterior motive, by any matter what, the devotional service performed for Lord Hari, then Sukha Pradaha. So it will always provide happiness, no matter what. Whether you do it with a desire or without any desire, but if you perform devotional service towards Lord Hari, then it will always provide you happiness. So you have venerated, performed austerity for him. So therefore you are magnificent, benevolent. So in many, many verses, Garuji has glorified Sudev Brahmana. Further, he adds,
इस संसार में हमारी वही हमारी उम्र कितनी है?
why? So that is age. So in this world, how much are we going to live? Pallav means the petal of the lotus flower, and the droplet of water on that lotus petal, we don't know when it will fall. So that is the similarity that we have with our own life, as the droplet on the lotus flower, we don't know whether it will stay there for how long. Similar is our life. Our Gauriya Acharya Govindas ji has sung in a beautiful bhajan.
पुत्र परिजन इथे किया छे पर तीरे ये धन यौवन पुत्र परिजन इथे किया छे पर तीरे कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल भजहूँ हरिपद नीति रे भजहूँ रे मन श्री नंदनंदन अभय चरणार विंदरे। गोविंददास जी कहते हैं कि हे मन, तू अभय प्रदान करने वाले श्री गोविंद भगवान श्री कृष्ण के चरण।
Govindas ji says that you should
क्यों? क्योंकि जीवन
get
का कोई भरोसा नहीं है। ये जीवन कैसा
busy performing
कमल
devotional
दल
service
जल,
because there is
कमल के
no
दल ऊपर जल होता है,
surety of
जीवन
the
टलमला।
human life,
वो पानी की बूंद कब गिरेगी
because that
कोई किसी
droplet,
के मालूम
when it
नहीं।
will fall from the lotus,
इसलिए
nobody knows.
क्या
Therefore,
भरोसा है इस जिंदगी का, साथ देती नहीं किसी का। जीवन का भरोसा नहीं, इसलिए हमें रोज भगवत कथा और भगवान का नाम लेते रहना चाहिए।
therefore, we should daily
क्योंकि
chant the
कब ये
glories of
जीवा
the holy
थक
name,
जाए
because we are not aware
इसका कोई
when we
भरोसा
will
नहीं।
stop talking. We
हम
don't
अक्सर
know.
कहते हैं,
We
ब्रज कृष्ण
always
की
say
कहावत है,
there is
क्षणभंगुर जीवन की कलिका
this saying
कल प्रातः में जाने खिली न खिली। भारत में अभी शाम का समय, ये सॉरी
so
अमेरिका में अभी रात का
in
समय है।
US it's night
रात को हम सब सोए, सुबह जगेंगे या नहीं ये
and we
कोई
will
नहीं
sleep,
जानता।
and whether we will get up
क्षणभंगुर जीवन
tomorrow,
की
nobody
कलिका
knows.
कल प्रातः में जाने खिली न खली। मलिया चंद की मंद लहर सुगंध समीर चली न चली। कलिकाल कुठार लिए फिरता तन कोमल चोट जिली न जिली। रटले अरी जीवहा कृष्ण को नाम तू अंत समय पे हिली न हिली। जीवन का भरोसा नहीं, कब अटैक आ जाए,
So we don't know about the life,
प्राण निकल जाए
because we don't know
और
when we are
प्राण
going to
निकलते
die,
समय
when we will lose
इस
our
जीवा
life,
से प्रभु का नाम
and
निकलेगा या नहीं
while we are
इसका भी
dying, we
भरोसा
don't
नहीं।
know whether we
इसलिए
will be
आज
able
जब
to
जीवा
remember the
सही
Lord.
सलामत
We are
है
not sure. So
तो
when we
भगवान का
have
नाम ले
this
लेना चाहिए।
tongue
कर्ण
in a
से
working
कानों से
condition, we should
भगवान का
chant the
नाम
holy names
लेते
of the
रहना
Lord.
चाहिए।
With ears, we should listen to his
सो गरुड़
pastimes.
जी
So Garuji
आज सुदेव ब्राह्मण को ये सुंदर
today
उपदेश देते हैं।
is giving
ये
a
कहते
great
हैं
counsel
कि हे
to
ब्राह्मण
Sudev
देवता,
Brahmana, and he says, "Oh, great Brahmana,
रघुनाथ जी के चरण कमल को जो हृदय में धारण नहीं करता,
the one who
राम
doesn't
और
carries
कृष्ण
the
का
lotus
कोई
feet
स्मरण
of
नहीं करता,
Lord
कोई
Raghunath
भजन
in
नहीं
his
करता।
heart, or who doesn't practice devotional
इसका कारण
service of
यही
the
है
Lord."
कि
The
उनका
reason being
इस शरीर में और शरीर से जुड़े हुए लोगों
that
में ममता है,
they are too
आसक्ति
much
है।
attached to
बहुत
the
सुंदर एक सिद्धांत
body
बताते
and
हुए
the bodily
गरुड़ जी
relationships.
अगले
So
श्लोक
there
में
is a
कहते
great
हैं,
philosophical point that
विषया
Guruji is
विष रूपा वह।
sharing in the next verse. He says
ये संसार के जो विषय भोग
that
है,
the
ये
sense
संसार के विषय भोग कैसे
gratification
हैं? विष रूपा,
provided in
विष
this
के
material
समान संसार के
universe
विषय।
is
और
like
वही
a
वही
poison,
शब्द से
and
निश्चितम,
Vai word here
श्लोक में
stands for
वही
sure.
शब्द निश्चित के अर्थ में है। बोले निश्चित रूप से
So
विषया विष
definitely or
रूपा,
for sure,
संसार के जो
Vishaya
विषय भोग
Vishrupa.
है
So
ये विष
the
के समान है।
avenues for sense
और
gratification
नराणाम
are like
यश
poison
सुखदा,
for sure.
और ये विषय भोगों
Narana,
से उत्पन्न होने वाला सुख
and
बड़ा
the
तुच्छ
happiness
है।
derived from
नराणाम मनुष्य को ये
these.
विषय भोगों
Narana
का सुख
means
मिलता
men,
है, लेकिन बड़ा
and
तुच्छ,
Tuch
बहुत कम
means
समय के
very
लिए।
less or very small,
बहुत बहुत
and
मेहनत करो तो
Sakyada is
बहुत कम
happiness.
सुख
So
मिलता है।
the humans get very
भगवत
little
गीता में तो कृष्ण कहते हैं जो
happiness
मूढ़
or
होगा, जो मूढ़ होगा
comfort in this world.
वही विषय भोगों
So
के सुख के पीछे भागेगा,
they say that
क्योंकि
he's
इसी
the
संस्पर्श
person
योगोगा
who runs behind
दुख योनय एवते
sense
आदि
gratification
अंत
is
अंत
a fool.
कोनय
Why?
रतेषु रमते बुधा।
Krishna says
बुद्धिमान आदमी इस
that an
विषय भोगों
intelligent
के सुख
person
में फंसता नहीं है,
will never get entangled
क्योंकि
in
विषय
these
भोगों से उत्पन्न होने वाला सुख
avenues of sense
दुख योनय,
gratification.
दुख की योनि है। दुख की योनि माने दुख को जन्म देने वाली जननी है।
So all these material desires are the mother of misery and happiness, because all these sense gratification that we do or the carnal desires that we have will lead us to a miserable life. They will only beget unhappiness, sadness, and distress. And if you even get some happiness, then it comes very early and it ends very soon as well. So there is a start and there is an end. It's not constant. So when we get some flickering happiness and immediately it stops, therefore, a intelligent person, a wise person will never get entangled in these material happiness. And further, Guruji adds that these desires for sense gratification are like poison, and they are very, very small. And for that, Kaushalya Yumna Nritya, Lord Shri Ram, Krishna, and Krishna, Hari is disrespected, dishonored. Tesho Mudho Til. So, just to get some happiness by sense gratification and to ignore or disregard the Lord is stupidity. Then someone will say that this is our own society, own family. So Guruji says, you might have heard from so many people that, but now today we should listen from Guruji. He is the one when he waves his feathers, that time the shlokas or verses of Samaved can be heard. So he says, Kimu Patni, what the woman Sutovapi, what about son or daughter or brothers, Katham Dhanam, what about the wealth and home? Rajyam is kingdom or servants. Gaja is elephant. So all these material opulences that we have, either they will leave us or we will leave them and leave. So for sure we have to leave them behind. So Guruji is stressing upon this point. Either they will leave us while we are alive, or at the time of death we will leave them. So one day we will have to leave them. So I remember the pastime of Pururva in Srimad Bhagavatam. He also says something similar. When a child is born, then the mother says that this is my son. And the nurse says that this is my. When he comes to home, the father says he's my son. In school, the teacher says he's my student. And further, when he becomes friends with others, then they say that he's my friend. Then when he gets married, the wife says that he is my husband. When they get kids, they say that he's my father. When he works in an office, the master says that he's my employee. Prime Minister says he's my citizen. So all these people say that he's mine, mine, mine. But actually, whom he belongs to, then the woods at the cremation ground says that no matter whatever
आखिर
you
मेरे
say,
संरक्षण
but
की राखी कौन
ultimately
है?
he will be mine.
तो गरुड़ जी उसी
He will
तत्व को,
turn
उसी
into ashes.
सिद्धांत को
So,
याद
this
कराते हैं
philosophical
कि मेरी
point,
पत्नी इस संसार में
Guruji is
जितने भी
reminding
रिलेटिव
Sudev
संबंधी
Brahmana.
हमको मिले हैं,
He
ये
says
बस
that
हमको
all these
याद होना चाहिए,
relatives
ये
that we
सब
have got
टेम्पररी
in
है,
this material
सब
universe,
क्षणिक है।
they all are temporary.
सुतो वापी कथम धनम कथम गेहम, गरुड़ जी कहते हैं मृत्यु
Then he adds,
अनुप्रवर्त्यतिह बलात्कारो पयोजिता। मृत्यु के समय
at the
बलात्,
time
बलात्
of
माने
death,
जबरदस्ती,
Balat means with
उपयोजिता,
force,
ये सब कुछ छुड़ा लिया जाएगा। और जीते
and
जी
this
यदि इसको
all will
छोड़ने का
be
अभ्यास
removed.
नहीं होगा तो
And
मरते
when
समय
we die,
जबरदस्ती जब
if we
छुड़ाया
don't
जाएगा
have this
तो बहुत
habit of
कष्ट होगा।
detaching ourselves, and then when it will be
तो
forcefully
मरते
be
समय
separated from
इस सारी
us,
वस्तु को
then we
जब
will be
यमराज के
very
द्वारा,
much distressed and
यमदूत के द्वारा
agitated,
छुड़ाया जाएगा,
because when the
तो
Yamdutas
उस समय
will
कष्ट ना हो
snatch us
इसलिए
away from
अभी
all
से
these things,
इन सब
then
वस्तुओं
we
को
will
छोड़ने
be
का अभ्यास होना
facing great
चाहिए।
distress. Therefore, we should have a
इसलिए घर
practice of
गृहस्थी में रहिए,
detachment and renunciation.
लेकिन
We should
जैसे
live in
कमल
the
कीचड़
householder
में
life,
रहता है
but
लेकिन
as
उससे
a lotus
प्रभावित नहीं होता,
resides in
ठीक उसी
a
प्रकार
pond,
हम संसार में
but
रहें
it doesn't
लेकिन
get
संसार में
affected
आसक्त
by
न रहें।
the
धिक
foul water.
नरको
Similarly, we
समाधीशम
should also not
मनोजवकयति
be
है।
affected by these
उस आदमी
material
को धिक्कार
relationships.
है। देखिए गरुड़ जी का प्रवचन शुरू कहाँ से हुआ था? ये भी एक कला
So,
है कि
this
जहाँ
is
से
also
फ्लाइट
an
को
art.
टेक ऑफ करे वहीं पर लैंड करे।
From where
तो
we
गरुड़ जी
started
का
there, only
प्रवचन
we should
शुरुआत कहाँ हुआ था?
get
धन्यों
it
से,
down.
तुम धन्य
So,
हो। और
he has
अब क्या
started
हो रहा
from
है?
saying
धिक
that you
जन्म
are great,
धिक्कार है।
Dig Janam,
तो
Dig.
सुदेव ब्राह्मण को कहा कि धन्यों
So
से
he said
तुम
that
धन्य हो
you are
क्योंकि
great,
तुम्हारी राम जी में मति है, प्रभु
fortunate,
में मति है।
because you have
लेकिन उन
your
लोगों को धिक्कार
heart
है
and mind
जो
towards the Lord,
कौसल्याधीशम
but
नानुचिंतय, जो राम जी का चिंतन नहीं करते,
the
कृष्ण
people
का
who
चिंतन
don't
नहीं करते, प्रभु का भजन नहीं
think
करते।
of the Lord or perform devotional
लेकिन
service
हे
to
सुदेव,
them,
आप तो
they should
भगवान
be
के परम
ashamed,
भक्त
or
हो और इसी भक्ति के कारण अब गरुड़
but
जी
you are the
वरदान देते
devotee of
हैं।
the Lord. So now
हरे
Guruji
कृपा
is giving
वलोकेन
benediction to
मया दत्त
the
सुतः
Brahmana,
तव।
Sudev,
नारायण की कृपा दृष्टि से,
by the mercy of
भगवान
Lord
नारायण की आज्ञा
Narayan,
से, उनकी अनुमति से
vision
मया
and his
दत्त, मेरे
permission,
द्वारा तुमको
Maya
दिया जा
Datta,
रहा है
I'm
सुतस्तव,
giving you
पुत्र
a
दिया जा रहा
benediction
है।
of,
तो
or
संसार
benediction
संभवम
to beget
सौख्यम,
a
मैं तुम्हें आशीर्वाद
son,
देता हूँ,
and
तुम अपने
I
पुत्र के साथ संसार में रहो,
bless you
सुखी
that you
रहो,
will live
भुंक्ष
with your son,
विप्रेश्वर शितो,
and you
और
will
इस
be
संसार के
happy,
सारे सुख को भोगो।
and you will
तुम्हारी पत्नी गौतम ऋषि एक से
have
ठीक 9 महीने के बाद
all
एक
these
सुंदर पुत्र की प्राप्ति होगी और आप
opulences,
सब
and after
परिवार
9 months
में
your
सुखी
wife will
होकर रहो।
beget
इस
a
प्रकार
beautiful son.
कहकर गरुड़
And
जी
by
की
saying
वाणी
this,
विराम हुई। भगवान
Guruji
विष्णु गरुड़
paused,
जी के ऊपर बैठे
and Lord
और
Vishnu
गरुड़
went.
ध्वज भगवान विष्णु वहां से
Lord
अपने
Vishnu
धाम वैकुंठ
Garudhwaj
में चले गए।
went back to his
9
eternal
महीने के
abode,
बाद
Vaikuntha.
सुदेव
After
ब्राह्मण
9
की
months,
पत्नी
Sudev
गौतमी के गर्भ
Brahmana's
से
wife
एक सुंदर
Gautami
बालक का जन्म हुआ,
begot a beautiful
दिखने
son
में सुंदर,
who was
उनके सारे
extremely
अंग
beautiful,
प्रत्यंग,
and
पद्म
all
पुराण में
his
विस्तार से वर्णन है,
limbs and body
अत्यंत
parts were
सुंदर
perfect
बालक था।
and
पूरा समाज
beautiful.
एकत्रित
It's
हुआ,
mentioned in
अनेक
detail in
ब्राह्मणों
Padma
को
Puran.
बुलाया गया,
So
स्तुति वाचन
many
किया गया
Brahmanas were
और फिर
called,
परिवार
and
और
they
सभी ब्राह्मणों ने मिलकर
performed
इस बालक का नाम शुक
veneration
रखा।
for him, and he
इस
was
बालक
named
का नाम शुकदेव रखा।
Shuk or Shukdev.
तो ये शुक नाम का बालक, शुकदेव
So
नाम
this
का
Shuk
बालक
named
सुदेव के घर पर
son
धीरे धीरे बड़ा होने लगा।
gradually started
एक
becoming
दिन
big,
की बात,
and once
सुदेव, गौतमी
on a
और
day,
ये शुक,
one
इनका
day,
बेटा,
so now
ये
this
तीनों घर
Sudev
पर थे
Brahmana,
और
Gautami
गरुड़
and
जी
Shuk,
कहते हैं
they all
कि
were at home,
नारद
and
मुनि आ गए।
Goswami says that Narad Muni arrived.
नारद मुनि बजाए वीणा, राधिका रमण नामे, हरि का नाम लेते हुए गाते हुए
While
श्री नारद
reciting the
मुनि
holy
जी
names
के
of the
महल
Lord,
में इनके
Sri
राज्य में
Narad
आए।
Muni
सुदेव
came,
ब्राह्मण ने नारद जी का
and
स्वागत किया
Sudev
और
Brahmana
भोजन कराया
welcomed him,
और नारद जी की पूजा करके भोजन
and
आदि
he
करा के
venerated Narad Muni and offered
सुदेव
him
और
food, etc. And then they put their son at the lotus feet of Narad Muni, and with folded hands, they both said that you are a great sage and you are aware of the past, present, and future. You're omnipresent, so you just reveal what will be his future. Then Narad Muni, looking at this Shuk and looking at his lines on his body, he said that this son will be very, very famous. He will be a king. After death, he will attain the eternal abode of the Lord. This is his last birth. Your son will be a emperor. And he will not even have an iota of sin. I don't see any proclivity of sin. So people do sin knowingly or unknowingly, but your son has no proclivity to sin. But there is one shortcoming. So this is the style of an astrologer. They will say everything is good, but they will add one point. When Narad Muni said that there is some discrepancy, and it is a very, very great problem. If you don't feel distressed, then I will share. So how can they refuse? They said that please let me know. Then Narad Muni speaks in this verse, and this verse, after listening to this verse, they both fell down on the ground. Such a secret was concealed by Narad Muni. He recites,
तनयस्तेयम् द्वादशे हयने गते मृत्यु मेष्यति तत्र त्वम् मृत्यु मेष्यति तत्र त्वम् मा शोके मानसं कृता। हे सुदेव, हे गौतमी,
O Sudev, O Gautami, Sudev Tanayam Teyam. Tanaya means your son, Shuk. Dvadashe Ayane. Ayane means year. Dvadashe means 12. So the 12th year. Gate. After 12 years are completed, Mrityu Meshyati, he will die.
सुदेव तनय तेयम द्वादशे ही अयने गते
Sudev Tanaya Seyam Dvadashu Hayane Gate. So Gate means after 12 years have passed, Mrityu Meshyati Tatritvam. So this child will die after completion of the 12th year. Therefore, you should not be distressed. I was not about to reveal it, that this is a very sad news, but you forced me, therefore I am sharing this with you. So he is going to live only for 12 years. So after saying this, Narad Muni left, and after he left, as if there was a hurricane or a wind, and a root gets uprooted, as if we dig a mountain, it also falls, as by the thunderbolt a great building falls. Similarly, by listening these words from Narad Muni that after 12 years your son will die, Sudeva Brahmana and Gautami, they both fell on the ground, and the son is in their hand. and they both started crying frenetically, vehemently, and for a great time they both were crying. And as I said earlier, that this wife Gautami was very, very patient and wise. She was a daughter of a great devotee of the Lord. So Sudevji was crying, but Gautami gathered patience and put her son on her lap and started kissing her son and said, "Oh, my dear husband, there is no, so now there is no reason to be sad that the Lord has already decided the providence of our son, as Narad Muni has told. So whatever is going to happen in the future, we cannot change it. So whatever is going to happen, and if we have fear and sadness for that, then this won't be for of any use." So this wife Gautami speaks beautifully. She says, in this world, is there someone who can stop the future? Bhavi means future, and bhavyam neva vinashyati. And whatever is going to happen, it will happen, and whatever is not going to happen, it won't happen at any cost. Therefore, nobody can change the future or the course of future, and nobody can change the providence or fate. This is our providence. Then she says, Avashyam bhavi bhavana pratikaro bhevati. If this future event that is going to happen, if there could have been any solution for that, or if somebody could have been able to stop the future event to happen, then nobody would have been in distress. Then she gives example of Nal, Rama, Yudhishthira. If someone can change the course of the future, then King Nal would never have faced any hurdle. Ramji wouldn't have faced any obstacle, and Dharamraj Yudhishthir would never have faced any distress. They had the potency to change the providence, but nobody can change their providence. Otherwise, had he not, King Nal wouldn't have changed all this course of life, of his own life, had Ram not potency to change his providence. And Yudhishthir, the epitome of religiosity, wouldn't have been he able to change his providence? If there was any solution for this problem or the future event, then the king of the demons, Bali, wouldn't have been bounded. And if there was a solution for future events, then the 10-headed Ravana wouldn't have been destroyed. If there was a solution to the future events, then Sita Maya wouldn't have been abducted at all. And Bali wouldn't have been destroyed. And if there was this way to stop this providence, then Hiranyakashipu or Vritrasur wouldn't have been destroyed. Oh, my dear husband, This is our future. And now the saint has told, so we can get prepared and face the situation. So you should not be distressed and saddened, but by listening to the words of Sri Narad Muni, Sudevji was shocked as if he has been bitten by a snake, or as if he has seen a snake. So at this point, Vedvesti concludes this chapter.
So व्यास जी ने यहाँ पर अपना
So
अध्याय
Vyasji here concludes. So tomorrow we will listen to the next chapter. So I personally like this pastime. We all have some providence, and there are some events that are supposed to happen in our life. So the so many great personalities in history were not able to change their providence. Then what are we? We have no standing. So just think, forget about everything. If somebody would have been able to stop the future, then the Yadu clan would never have been destroyed. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, whole clan was destroyed. Was Krishna not aware of the same? But if there was anything to stop this providence, he would have done it. So in the past, we have seen that even the Lord has not stopped the providence. This is what the history teaches us, that whatever we have is according to our karma or deeds that we have done, and we should accept this fact. And a daughter of a Brahmana is teaching this to us. So when we have happiness, then it is very easy to counsel others who are saddened or distressed. But when we are ourselves distressed, today Gautami's life is surrounded by sadness, and at this point, she is taking care of not only herself but also her husband. And this knowledge is very easy in theory, but practically to apply on this life at one point of time when we are going to face this situation, we should try to stabilize us and remove all this sadness and fear from our lives. Only then it will be believed that we have imbibed this quality by the mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Narad Muni has said that this child will die after 12 years and nobody is going to change that. And whatever we cannot change, we should accept with smile. That is what Gautami is saying, and Vedvyasi has concluded his chapter. So tomorrow we will listen to the 15th chapter.
श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। सो इस पुरुषोत्तम मास में,
so in this Purushottam month, we all are listening to the glories of Purushottam Vrat Katha and its glories. But what great learnings we are getting, what beautiful pastimes are being shared, which we should imbibe in our lives. We are listening. So in this month, it is glorious to listen to or recite Ashtakam. So we recited Shachi Sutta Ashtakam on the first day, then Charaganya Ashtakam, and yesterday Nandanandana Ashtakam we sang. So today we will recite Jagannath Ashtakam. So in the previous Katha we have discussed this Jagannath Ashtakam. So you all might have memorized. So please get ready, whether you want to sit or stand, whatever you feel or desire, but recite.
जय जय नवल किशोर, जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु, जय जय माखन चोर, जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित
Hare Krishna.
भगवत कथा अनुरागी,
I welcome all the loving devotees of Bhagavatam. I, that is, attendees, devotees, I extend my warm welcome and gratitude to the senior mellowful devotees who have decorated this assembly. I also welcome you all who have joined through the medium of Govind TV, Facebook, YouTube, etc. All the listeners, attendees, devotees, and the organizers of this beautiful Bhagavatam Katha, the denizens of Delhi, Asha Sharma Mataji, the daughter Monica Mataji, and from Australia, Melbourne, Nalini Mataji, and Lord Radha Giridhari, Savitri Mataji, and remembering their pious ancestors, Mahadev, Srimati Suraj Kaur, and the whole family. So I welcome you all on the fourth day of Srimad Bhagavatam. Welcome back, and please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam. Srimad Bhagavatam Vatsalya Lila, or the pastime of the paternal affection and childhood pastimes of the Lord. We all are going to listen. So far we have heard the liberation of demon Trinavrat. Thakur Bhakti Vinod speaks about this demon Trinavrat, that his nature is the pride that originates from these materialistic nescience, and that is epitome or personifies Trinavrat. So if you have any of this pride, then you must understand that the Trinavrat is sitting in our heart. You all are pure. Very, very, very pure soul.
So, ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद,
So Thakur Bhakti Vinod says that the one who has this pride that originates from, or the false ego, is the nature of Trinavrit, and we should try to get purified of this. So from where this false ego comes or originates, so what are the doors? So Mother Kunti in her veneration of the Lord has requested. She recites, she tells the Lord, "Oh my Lord, I want distress, sadness from you. I don't desire any happiness because happiness can make us proud, but a distressed person can never be proud. So I want to be away from this pride. Therefore, I don't want this happiness. And all these are the sources that can make us prideful. So Mother Kunti says, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruti, Shri. So a person pride can be changed, can be increased by to be born in a very great family is a great sign of great piety and fortune, but there is a risk involved with the same that you might get proud that I am a Brahmana, I am a scholar of Kashi. So if you are born in a great family, you might become prideful. Then there is Aishwarya or opulence. So opulence is not bad, but if someone has opulence, then there is a great chance that they will become prideful. And if someone gets opulence, then they might become proud. Then this is Vridya, that is the nescience, the knowledge of, that is the nescience, not the spiritual knowledge. So all these are the signs of pride. So people get proud of their education. So if someone gets knowledgeable, then there is a great possibility that they might become proud. Then Shri bhi means property. But if people have too much of property, then there is a possibility they might become proud. If he doesn't has any thing, then he won't be proud. So all these increase the pride in any human being. For example, Thakur Bhaktivinoda says that the pride of knowledge of this or nescience or opulence, etc., is the pride of the material opulence, and it makes or turns us into a donkey or an ass. So if someone is born in a great family, somebody might be proud of their knowledge. So for example, Uddhavji had such great knowledge, and then he went to the heaven.
तो बंदा कितना कॉन्फिडेंस में होगा, ये ऑक्सफोर्ड रिटन कैम्ब्रिज रिटन वाले इतना
so how much he would be proud of his achievements. So when Krishna is crying in the separation with Srimati Radharani, and Uddhavji thinks that Krishna has lost his mind. In separation with the Lord, the devotees will cry. Why would the Lord cry for his devotees? So this is the pride of knowledge. So when we were young or children, we used to listen to the pastime. A child went to a outside country from a village. So when he returned from after completing his education after very quite a few years, then he had to cross the river. So he sat on the boat, and while doing that he was using his laptop. So the villager was rowing the boat. So he said that, what is it? It's a laptop. You're not aware? I'm seeing for the first time. I don't know. You don't know anything about laptop? You have wasted 25% of your life. Then somebody called and he started speaking in English. So he said that, what were you saying? I was speaking English. You don't know English? How would I know? I know the language of the village. You have wasted 25, 50% of your life. By the time he took out another gadget from his pocket, the Bluetooth was, and now the villager was rowing the boat. He said, what is this? What is it? I can't understand this. You don't know about this? The world has progressed so much. So we can listen from this gadget. You don't know anything about laptop. You don't know English. You don't know anything about the gadgets. So your 75% of life is wasted. And so they were conversing, and now they went in the midst of the river, and there was a wind, a hurricane, and the wind was blowing fast, and the boat started shaking, and it was about to sink. So this boatsman said that, do you know swimming? He said, your 100% life is wasted.
तो तैरना नहीं जानते, तो अब तो हम सब जाने वाले हैं, आपका 100% जीवन खत्म,
so your
केशवम,
whole life is destroyed. So the conclusion of this story is that no matter whatever degree or knowledge we possess or opulence we acquire, the people of the world think that we are successful. But as this person didn't knew how to swim and everything got wasted, similarly, if we don't know how to perform or practice devotional service, then everything is futile. All are businessmen and doing great job. So you might have a target that we will add a zero next year. So every year we think that we will increase 1 0, and it should be like that. So no matter how many zeros you have or you increase them, but till the point there is no one in front, then there is no value of this zero. Similarly, if you get a high birth or you get opulence or education, but if you don't are devoid of devotional service, then everything is futile, it's worthless, because and all these things make us proud. Therefore, the nescience and the opulence of material world generates or gives birth to pride. So Krishna killed Trinavrat yesterday, but this Trinavrat is still sitting in our hearts in subtle form, and if we want to destroy him, then we should listen to this pastime of Trinavrat's liberation. Parikshit Maharaj asked, "Oh Shukdev Goswami, Trinavrat was liberated by the Lord and he attained the abode of the Lord. Who exactly was he? What is his history? And do let me know." So Shukdev Goswami replies that Trinavrat in his previous life was a warrior and he was the king of a Pandu Desh. He was an emperor of his kingdom and his name was Sahasra Aksh. So his name was Sahaksh and he was very famous king of Pandu kingdom. He was so brave that the fame of his kingdom was shining bright everywhere, and he had extreme faith towards Lord Vishnu. He didn't had any bhakti, that is, he was devoid of any devotional service towards the Lord. He never used to sit in Amrit Charsha like you guys. Otherwise, he wouldn't have faced this. So sometimes he visit the temple if the mood is there. So it is not going to benefit us. We should have a commitment. We should have rules and regulation. By that only the Lord gets satisfied. So he used to do devotional service according to his whims and fancies. So he had some faith in the Lord and followed the principles of religiosity. So he used to perform homa, used to perform charity, and he had his interest in all these activities. So once what happened, he had 1,000 wives. So this Sahasraksh went with his wives to a picnic. And where did they reach? They went to the wharf of Mother Narmada or River Narmada. And then he started taking a bath in that Narmada river. But as he was taking a bath with his wives, he lost his control. As we have discussed, this ego or pride, he said that I'm a king, so why should I be scared or worried? So his clothes were disabled, and so were his wife's clothes as well. And they were performing some unacceptable activities, and the famous sage who easily curses anyone, so you all might have understood that Durvasa Rishi arrived, who is part of Lord Shiva himself, and he arrived. And he was not alone, he came with thousands of his disciples. So he was accompanying his thousands of disciples, and they were crossing this river. So king should have become sub humility and modesty, and he should have came out of the river. But this king was so shameless, and Durvasa Rishi was looking for this opportunity. You might have heard about Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya of Pushti Sampradaya. So his son was Vitthal Gosai, and it was his vow or pledge that he will give initiation to at least one person, only then he will eat. So Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya's son Vitthal had this, that I will preach someone and initiate them on a daily basis. And Durvasa might have the opposite, that I will just curse someone and then only I will eat something. So Durvasa Muni might have this principle that I will find someone and I will curse it. He has great practice of getting angry and cursing. So he was playing the water, he was performing water sports with his wife, and seeing his shamelessness, he said that you have such a great birth and kingdom, and you become so proud that you even have lost modesty and your shame. I curse you that you will become, you will be destroyed, and for lakhs of years you will become a demon, because you are not worthy of this human body. You belong to a demon body. And in this manner he was cursed by Durvasa Rishi, and the the wives also were cursed that you also will be destroyed. Then this king Sahasraksh came out of the water. Wearing a towel. He came out and he bowed down at the lotus feet of Guru Samini. With folded hands, he said that please forgive me. Please don't curse me thus, that I will become a demon for millions and millions of years. Durvasa Rishi said that I have already cursed you and now I cannot take my word back. So he says that you do something, I am surrendered to you. Durvasa Rishi said that you are regretful, and as you have some atonement in your heart, so you will become a demon, but you will be liberated when Lord Shri Krishna will touch you and catch hold of your neck. When his hands and legs will touch you, that time you will attain the eternal abode of the Lord. And your wives will become the daughters of kings in different regions. So he was a Karamkhandi or believer in fruitative action. So when Durvasa Rishi left, he made a fire sacrifice and they entered this fire sacrifice along with his wives. And in the next birth, he became Trinavrat, demon. And then when Kans sent him to Gokul and the Lord touched him, then he was liberated. So Durvasa Rishi's words were sanctified by the Lord. So in the last session, I said that Lord Shri Krishna liberated Trinavrat, and in this past time, Krishna has used 8 siddhis or perfections which we talk. So what are these 8 perfections that we have heard yesterday? But in this Trinavrat Moksha Lila, how did he use them? Hari Shuri ji writes,
अन्यंके गरीम नाश्रित तत्कंठे लघुताम गतश्च महिमो लासी च तद्वंसते प्राकाम्यं भुवि पूरयन् स्वयमसा ईशं सतामृदृषि प्राप्तो घोषजने रीति प्रभुरभूत् स्पष्टाष्टसिद्धि श्रितः। श्री हरि सूरी जी कहते हैं,
So Shri Hari Suri ji says, Ashta Siddhi Siddha. In this pastime of Trinavrit, the 8 types of mystic perfections are used. So here one mystic perfection is used.
अणुत्रिणम, अष्ट सिद्धि में पहली सिद्धि है अणिमा।
So the first mystic perfection is anima, that is to reduce your size. So that is called anima, that to become small or to make others small. So anima means to reduce the size. So he says that this demon was so huge. The past time that we heard, they are usually very, very large. But this large demon, Trin means a blade of a grass. So what is the lowest is the blade of grass. That he is equivalent to this blade of grass. So such great demon was like Trin or a blade of grass. He was changed by Lord as a blade of grass. And the second is निज जन्य अंके गरिमशरण. When he sat on the lap of his mother, Garima Ashrita, then he used the second mystic perfection, that is Garima. It is not about the size, but it's about the weight. So Garima means to increase your weight. So he used this second mystic perfection when Mother Yashoda picked, as we have heard yesterday in the past time, that Krishna's weight increased, so his size was the same, but he increased his weight. So this is a mystic perfection. We also keep on increasing our weight, but with the weight, we are increasing our size as well. Yes. So,
जब तक दरवाजे के अंदर आ जाए तब तक की साइज ठीक है, गाड़ी में बैठ जाए, ऑटो में बैठ जाए, तो हमारा वजन भी बढ़ता है, साइज भी बढ़ती है.
So our weight and size both increase, but here his weight was increased, but the size was same. So it is said, Nij Jani Anke Garimya Shritah. So he used this Garima, mystic perfection, and the next is Laghima. So this Anima was to decrease the size. Laghima is the reduction of the weight. And when did he use it? This third siddhi, Lagutam Gata. When Trinavrat picked up Lord Shri Krishna and he flew, so when he was in Yashoda Maiya's hand, he had gained weight, but when he came to the hands of Trinavrat, he reduced his weight. So,
तृणावर्त उठाया तो एक झटके में कम हो गया हैं? तो ये वजन कम करना कोई
so
साधारण
to
बात है?
reduce the weight is not ordinary
ट्रेडमिल
thing.
थक जाता है,
Even the treadmill
वो
gets
वेट जो है
tired.
ना वो टूट जाते हैं, वो लोहे का रोड बिल्कुल बैंड हो जाता है, लेकिन हमारा
The,
वेट
du-
कम नहीं होता
the dumbbells bend,
लेकिन
but our
कृष्ण ने
weight
एक
doesn't
झटके
reduce
में
it.
वजन कम कर
But
दिया, ये सिद्धि है,
Krishna in 1 second reduced his
ये
weight. This
सिद्धि
is
है
a mystic perfection,
जिसे कहते हैं
which is
तत्कर्ते
addressed
लघुताम
as
गतः।
Lagutam
कृष्ण वेट में कम
Gata.
हो गए ताकि
So
तृणावर्त
he
को उठा
reduced his
लिया
weight so that
और
Trinavrat could
गत
pick him
आकाश
up,
में लेकर चला
and
गया।
then he took him to in the sky.
फिर चौथी सिद्धि है
And then the
महिमा,
fourth mystic
कहते
perfection
हैं
is
महिमा उल्लासी च तद ध्वंसने। महिमा ये कैसी
Mahima.
सिद्धि है? ये साइज वाली
So
सिद्धि है,
this is
साइज
the
में बड़ा हो
mystic
जाना।
perfection of size, to increase
सो
your
दूसरी जगह
size.
लिखा है कि महिमा उल्लासी च तद ध्वंसने, जब तृणावर्त को मारने की बात आई,
When it was
आकाश में
time to
उसको
kill
उड़ते उड़ते लेकर गया,
Trinavrat in the
लेकिन जब
sky,
कृष्ण ने ये सोचा कि अब इसको
when Krishna
मारना है,
decided that now I'm
तो
going to kill
तृणावर्त
him,
को मारते हुए
so while
भगवान
killing
श्री
him,
कृष्ण ने अपनी साइज
Lord Shri
बढ़ा दी।
Krishna
उस
increased
समय
his
कृष्ण बड़े हो
size.
गए, इसे महिमा सिद्धि कहते हैं
So
कि
that
साइज को
is
बहुत
called
बड़ा कर
Mahima
दिया।
Siddhi or mystic
तो
perfection.
तत्ध्वंस ने तृणावर्त का ध्वंस करने के लिए, उसको मारने के लिए
Then to kill
भगवान श्री
Trinavrat,
कृष्ण अतिशय
Lord Shri Krishna
महान हो गए, महिम्न हो गए।
became
ओके,
or
तो ये
transformed
4
into
सिद्धि
a
हुई।
huge
पांचवी
body.
सिद्धि है
So the fifth
प्राकाम्य।
is Prakamyam.
प्राकाम्य का अर्थ कल आपने सुना था ना,
So Prakamyam, as
प्राकाम्य
you
माने
heard yesterday,
अपनी या
it
अपने
means
आश्रित की इच्छा को पूर्ण करना।
to fulfill
हम्म?
your or
किसी के
the
मन की
desire
इच्छा
of
पूर्ण
someone
कर
who
देना, ये
has
सिद्धि
surrendered to
प्राकाम्य
you.
सिद्धि।
So that is
सो
called
कृष्ण ने कहा
Prakamya.
यूज की
Mystic
प्राकाम्यम
perfection. Where did he use?
भूमि भूवि पूरयन।
Bhuvi Purayan.
भूमि के ऊपर जो भक्त
On
थे,
Mother Earth,
उस
the
भक्तों की
devotees'
इच्छा भगवान ने प्राकाम्य सिद्धि से
desire
पूर्ण कर दी।
was fulfilled through
अच्छा,
this
भक्तों की इच्छा
Prakamya
क्या
mystic
थी?
perfection. So, what
भगवान
was the
का
desire
दर्शन।
of the
भक्तों की इच्छा क्या थी?
devotees?
असुर
It
मारण।
was to have an
भक्तों की इच्छा
audience
क्या
with the
थी?
Lord
पृथ्वी
and to
का
kill the
भार दूर
demons
करना। सो
and to
भक्तों की जो
remove the
इच्छा
weight
थी,
from Mother
कृष्ण
Earth.
ने उनको
So,
पूर्ण
whatever
किया,
desires
तो
the devotees
प्राकाम्य
had,
सिद्धि
they were
हुई इस
fulfilled
वाक्य से।
by the Lord through this
फिर आगे
Prakamya mystic perfection.
स्वयं
Then further,
स ईशः,
Swayam
मतलब और
Sa
एक सिद्धि
Ishaha.
है, छठी
So, there
सिद्धि है
is a sixth
ईशित्व।
mystic perfection, that is
ईशित्व माने ईश्वर
Ishitva,
की तरह हो जाना।
to become
तो ये
like a
ईशित्व
god.
सिद्धि, तो ईश्वर की तरह हो जाना माने कंट्रोलर
So
हो
that
जाना,
implies to be the
बहुत बड़ा कंट्रोलर
controller,
बन जाना और किसी को कंट्रोल करना,
and to
इसे
control
ईशित्व सिद्धि
someone
कहते हैं।
is called
तो
Ishitva
स्वयं
Siddhi.
स
So
स ईशः, भगवान श्री कृष्ण स्वयं ईश्वर हो गए और
Lord
तृणावर्त
Shri
को
Krishna
अपने से
himself
कंट्रोल करने
became
लगे।
Ishwar and
जब
started controlling
तृणावर्त
Trinavrat.
आकाश में लेकर गया, तो
When
फिर
Trinavrat took
भगवान
him in
श्री
the
कृष्ण उसे
sky,
कंट्रोल
at
करने
that
लगे।
time Krishna started
और
controlling
फिर
him.
सातवीं
And
सिद्धि
then
है
the seventh mystic
वशित्व।
perfection is
वशित्व
Vashitva,
माने किसी को अपने वश में कर लेना।
that is to
सो कृष्ण ने किसको
control
वश में किया?
someone,
तो
or
कहते हैं सताम
so whom did
रति
he do?
वशी,
Did control?
संतों के हृदय को वश में कर लिया।
He
भगवान
has
श्री कृष्ण ने इस लीला में अपने गुण रूप लीला से
controlled
सताम
the
माने संतों के हृदय
all
हृदय
the
को
sages and saints by his
वशीभूत कर लिया,
names,
वश में कर लिया।
pastimes, qualities, and
और
forms.
आठवीं सिद्धि है
And the
प्राप्ति।
eighth mystic perfection
प्राप्ति
is
माने किसी भी वस्तु की
prapti,
प्राप्ति,
to
स्वयं
attain
कर सकता है
anything
या किसी को करा सकता
for
है।
himself or
सो
for
किसको प्राप्ति
others.
कराई? कृष्ण ने कैसी
So,
प्राप्ति सिद्धि यूज की?
how
सो
Krishna
प्राप्ति घोष
provided
जने
this
इति
prapti,
प्रभुरभूत। घोष माने
Prabhurabhut
ब्रजवासियों को,
Ghosh. So, the denizens of
गोकुल
Raja,
सखाओं को
all the
सुख
cowhead boys,
की
girls,
प्राप्ति
and
कराई,
friends,
सुख प्रदान
got
किया
happiness,
भगवान
were
श्री
provided
कृष्ण ने
happiness
अपने
by Lord Shri
दर्शन अपनी
Krishna
भक्ति से,
by giving
इसलिए
his
यहाँ पर प्राप्ति
devotional
कहा गया।
service and
तो
audience.
अष्ट सिद्धि आश्रितः, ये
So,
आठों
Ashta Siddhi
सिद्धि
Ashrita. So,
भगवान श्री
these eight
कृष्ण को
mystic
आश्रित है,
perfections
इसलिए
are
भगवान श्री
surrendered to
कृष्ण
Lord Shri
जब चाहे
Krishna.
तब
Therefore,
इन सिद्धियों
whenever
का
he
इस्तेमाल कर
needs,
सकते
he
हैं।
can use them.
सो इस प्रकार से बहुत सुंदर भगवान श्री कृष्ण
So, in this manner,
तृणावर्त
very
का उद्धार
beautifully,
किए।
Lord Shri
आइए अब
Krishna
हम प्योर
liberated
वात्सल्य
Trinavrat.
लीला को यदि
So,
लें
now let's move
तो
to the
सूरदास जी के
pure
पास जाना
parental affection pastime, and we should go to Surdas ji. He has almost written 10,000 verses,
और गुरुदेव के मुख से इन
and
पदों को
we
हमने
have
श्रवण
heard
स्मरण आदि
from our Guru Maharaj and
तभी ये
remembered
धीरे
them
धीरे बड़े
as
होते
well.
जा रहे हैं।
So
जब
Krishna
जब
is
कृष्ण ऐसी
becoming
लीला
big
करते हैं ना,
gradually, and
तो यशोदा
when he
मैया
performed
की
pastime,
आसक्ति कृष्ण में और बढ़ रही है।
then Mother Yashoda becomes
कृष्ण
more and
और
more
रुचि को लग
attached to
रहा है
Krishna.
और
He
आनंद ले
becomes
रहा है।
more
सुरदास
pleasant
जी
and giving bliss.
सुखदेव
So
गोस्वामी ने केवल कुछ
Shukdev
श्लोकों में इंडिकेट किया,
Goswami has indicated
सुरदास
this
बाबा ने
in
तो
a few
बहुत
verses,
वर्णन किया,
but Surdas Baba has
उस एक एक
described
पद में
this in
कृष्ण की
detail.
लीलाओं को।
In each
कृष्ण
verse, he
थोड़ा सा
describes the
चलना सीख
pastimes of
गए
Krishna. When
तो
he
क्या करते
started
थे,
walking a
अपनी
little, what
परछाई
he
को
used to
पकड़ने
do,
का प्रयास करते
he
थे।
used to chase his own
कहीं से
shadow.
प्रकाश आता तो परछाई होती,
If he gets a light and he
तो
will see the
कृष्ण
shadow,
सोचते हैं कि ये कोई आदमी है,
and he will think that this is some person.
इतने मतलब वात्सल्य में आवृत है,
He was
भगवत्ता
so
थोड़ी
much
भी नहीं है,
covered in the
तो
parental
अपनी परछाई को
affection,
पकड़ने जाते
and
गिर जाते,
he has
अपनी परछाई को पकड़ने जाते गिर जाते,
no
अपनी परछाई को
knowledge
पकड़ने
of
में वो
his
1 2
opulence.
3 घंटा बिता देते, पसीने से लथपथ हो जाते।
And he used to sweat. He used to
सुरदास जी
chase the
कहते हैं
shadow
अगर
for
किचन
2 to
से
3
मैया
years.
बुलाती, कृष्ण
And
कन्हैया भोजन तैयार है,
Maya
तो
used
ठुमक
to
ठुमक करके
call
माँ के
him
पास
that
अपनी
the food
जॉब
is
छोड़कर,
ready, and
वो ट्राई एंड
leaving
एरर
his
करते
job
थे ना,
to find
फिर
this shadow,
छोड़कर अपना भोजन करने चले जाते,
he will
चले
go
जाना
to
कल
get
देख लेंगे।
food. That we'll see this
सुखदेव
tomorrow.
गोस्वामी कहते हैं कि माँ
Shukdev
यशोदा
Goswami
ने
says
कृष्ण को
Mother
पाँव में
Yashoda
वो छोटे छोटे
has
वो लड़ी वाली घुंघरू पहनाना शुरू किया
worn
उनके पाँव में, हाथ में, तो कृष्ण जब चलते तो छम
Krishna
छम
with
छम छुम छुम बाजे गुगरिया, वो आवाज आती थी। अब कन्हैया स्वयं नहीं समझ पाते
so
ये
in
आवाज
his hands
कहाँ से आ
and
रही है,
on his feet he
एक
had
कदम
these.
चलते छम, तो पीछे देखते कोई मेरा पीछा कर रहा है,
So he used to
आगे
wear
चलते
these
छम कोई
ornaments
पीछा कर रहा
which
है।
would make
उसने बलराम
noise
को भी पहनाया था,
as
दोनों
they
भाई
had
साथ में चलते,
trinklets, and
कृष्ण
they both
बलराम को
used to
कहते हैं बलराम
Krishna used to tell
कोई तो
Balram,
है जो हमारा पीछा कर रहा है,
somebody is
कोई
following
हम पे
us,
नजर रख रहा है।
somebody is
इस
keeping a
प्रकार
watch
से
on us.
अपने ही
And
पाप
in
की
this,
आवाज को ये बच्चे
by
पहचान नहीं
listening
पाते
to
थे।
the voice
और
coming
जब
from
ये
their
विस्मित
own
होते हैं तो
legs,
गोपियां
they
उनको
couldn't
देखती
recognize,
और
and when they
बहुत
used to
आनंद
get
से
confused,
हंसती
and
और
the
कृष्ण
gopis
से लाड
used to
लगाया करती।
enjoy and become happy.
ये कृष्ण और बलराम छोटे थे तो
So when
प्रांगण
Krishna
में
and
खेलते
Balram were
थे,
beautiful, and they used
और
to
वैसे
play
बड़ी बड़ी
in the
गौएं तो
veranda,
गौशाला में होती थी,
so big
लेकिन जो
cows
मैया
were
के वो ताजे
in
बछड़े
the
होते थे ना, वो
cowshed,
नंद
but the
बाबा के प्रांगण
calves
में रखते थे
used to
और
be
कृष्ण
in
बलराम
the
उसके साथ खेलते थे। तो
veranda
कभी
of
कभी
Nand,
यशोदा मैया
and
किसी
he
काम में
used to
बिजी हो
play there.
जाती,
So when Mother Yashoda used to be
तो
busy with
कृष्ण
her
और
household
बलराम उसी
chores,
बछड़े की पूंछ
then
पकड़ लेते।
they will
बछड़ा तो
get
आप
hold
देखते ना
of
इतना एक्टिव होता
the
है, गाय का बछड़ा ऐसे ही कूदते रहते हैं, वो
tail
कभी शांति से
of the
बैठता
calf.
नहीं।
So the calf
और ऊपर
already
से ये
is
दोनों भाइयों ने एक एक बछड़े की पूंछ पकड़ी
very,
है,
very frolic,
तो
and he
बछड़े की
keeps
पूंछ जब ऐसे थोड़ा
running
सा
here and there.
ऐसे
And
ऐसे
when
हुआ
his
तो बछड़ा भागा,
tail is
भागा तो इसने और कसकर पूंछ पकड़ी,
held by
जब
Krishna,
कृष्ण
then
ने
he starts
घसीटते हुए
running, and
बछड़ा भागा,
Krishna
मैया मैया चिल्ला रहे
is
हैं, मैया
holding him
चिल्ला रहे हैं।
hard, and
अब इसको
the
इतना
calf is
भागना है
running,
कि
and
इस पूंछ
he's
को छोड़
dragging
दूं तो
Krishna,
सेफ हो
and he
जाऊंगा।
is shouting,
वो
calling
चिल्ला
his
रहे
mother,
हैं, परेशान
and
भी हो
he's not
रहे हैं,
saying, he's getting
लेकिन
distressed,
पूंछ
but
छोड़ नहीं
he's
रहे
not
हैं।
leaving the tail of
तो इस
this
प्रकार
calf.
से सुंदर सुंदर
So in
लीला।
this manner, there are beautiful, beautiful
एक दिन
pastimes of the
यशोदा
Lord.
की
So
सखियां उनके
once
पास आई
Yashoda's
और यशोदा
friends
कहती हैं,
came,
सखी
and
मुझे एक
Yashoda
बहुत
Maiya
बड़ी
said,
चिंता
"Oh
है।
friends, I
चिंता क्या
have
है?
this great distress."
बोले ये
What
कन्हैया
is
दिन
that?
भर दिन
That
कितना सुंदर होते जा रहा
this
है,
Kanhaiya is
ये
getting
रोज
more
इसकी
and more
इसका रूप निखर
beautiful.
रहा है।
Every
बोले
day he is
चिंता क्या
getting
है, लड़का
transformed
यदि सुंदर है तो चिंता
into
किस बात की?
more
बोले चिंता
beautiful
इस बात
and
की है
handsome. He says that,
कि
she
मुझे
says that I'm
उस
worried
कृष्ण को मेरी ही नजर लग जाएगी।
that he will
इस पॉइंट पर सूरदास जी ने ये पद लिखा है।
get
तो एक से एक पद, 10,000 पद, मैं कौन सा गाऊं कौन सा ना
my,
गाऊं, लेकिन मुझे एक
he
ऐसा
will be
लगा
affected by
कि
my
सबको
evil
प्रस्तुत करूं।
eye. So this is presented by Sudasji in this verse.
लालन वारिया मुखयु पर हे लालन वारिया मुखयु पर माई मोरही दी टीन लागे ताते मसी बिदा भूपर बारिया मुख यूपर। ये ब्रज भाषा है सूरदास जी।
This
तो
is Braj Bhasha. Sudasi writes in Braj.
वारी या मुख ऊपर,
He
हे
says,
लालन तेरे मुख के
"Oh,
ऊपर मैं वारी
my
जाऊं,
dear
कन्हैया
son,
तेरे मुख के ऊपर मैं वारी जाऊं।
I have lost myself on your face."
यशोदा सखी को कहती है कि माई
She tells her friends
मोर
that,
ही
"Oh,
मीठी न लागे, मुझे ऐसा लगता है
my
कि
friend, oh,
मोर
my
ही
mother,
मेरी ही
Morahi,
नजर इसको न लग
that
जाए,
he will be affected by my
इसलिए
own evil
ताते मसी। अब
sight
देखो ब्रज
or
और
eye."
गुजराती बिल्कुल सेम,
So
बिल्कुल
Braj and
गाँव की
Gujarati are
गुजराती है।
very similar.
मसी એટલે मश
Mashi
એટલે
is
કાજલ,
that is
और
the coal in
सौराष्ट्र
his
में इसको
eyes.
मश कहते हैं, मश है? और ब्रज में इसे मसी कहते हैं, माने काजल। तो सखी क्या करूं, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कन्हैया को मेरी ही
What shall I do?
इसलिए
I
मैं
think
रोज
that he will
ताते मसी बिंदा
be
दियो
affected by
भू,
my eye,
इसलिए मैं उसकी भू के ऊपर
and
कपाल
therefore
में एक
on his
काजल का
forehead
टीका कर देती
I
हूँ,
put
ताकि
coal
मेरी ही
on his
मेरे बेटे पर
forehead
नजर न लग
so
जाए।
that he could be
सखी
protected
तो
by
देखी
my
तो सही,
own
तीसरी लाइन में
eye. In the third
सर्वस्व में
line,
पहले ही
she
वारियो,
says,
सर्वस्व माने सर्वस्व, मैं
"Sarvas
तो
mein
पहले ही इसके
pehle
ऊपर
hi
वारी
varyo."
जाऊं, वार
I have
चुकी हूँ,
already
नछावर हो
given
चुकी हूँ इस
everything,
पर, ननी ननी
surrendered everything
दंतुली
to
पर।
him.
इसकी ननी ननी दंतुली तो देख, छोटे छोटे दांत तो देख,
Look at
कितने
his
सुंदर,
beautiful
वैसे
small,
दाढ़ियों
small
के दांत
teeth,
होते हैं वैसे फिक्स हैं।
as if
तो
they
मैंने
are
तो तेरा
like the
सब कुछ
pomegranate
नछावर
seeds.
कर दिया है,
So I have
अब
already
कहाँ
given
करो
everything to
नछावरी,
him.
सूरज सोचती अपने लाल जू पर। मैंने तो पहले से ही मेरा सब कुछ
So I
नछावर
have
कर दिया है,
already surrendered
अब मैं मेरे लाल
everything to
पर
him.
क्या नौछावर
So
करूं,
what
मैं ये
shall
सोच
I
रही हूँ।
offer him more?
सो
I'm
लालन
thinking the
वारी
same.
जाऊं इस कृष्ण के मुख पर। सो इस प्रकार से आप लोग भी पढ़िएगा, वहां सुंदर सुंदर पद है सूरदास जी के।
You also recite these verses. They're beautiful verses
श्री
by
सुखदेव
Surdas
गोस्वामी
ji.
कहते हैं कि
So
तृणावर्त
Shukdev Goswami
उद्धार के
says
बाद,
that once
और एक
Trinavarth
छोटी
was
सी दो
liberated,
तीन श्लोक में एक
there was
लीला है
another pastime which
कि
is
माँ
in two,
यशोदा
three
कृष्ण को दूध
verses.
पिलाने लगी।
So
माँ
Mother
यशोदा
Yashoda
कृष्ण
started
को दूध पिलाने लगी।
feeding
सुखदेव गोस्वामी कहते हैं
milk from her bosom
कि दूध पिलाते हुए यशोदा ने क्या देखा,
to Krishna, and what did she saw?
सावीक्ष्य विश्वं सहसा राजन् संजात वे पथु सम्मिल्य मृग सावाक्षी नेत्रे आसित सुविस्मिता। यशोदा मैया कृष्ण को
So
अपने
Mother
हृदय में लालित करा
Yashoda
रही है, स्तनपान
was
करा रही है।
feeding
उस समय क्या देखती हैं,
Krishna
सावीक्ष
by
यशोदा देखती है
the nectar
जब
of a
कन्हैया
bosom,
के
and
मुख के
she
पास,
sees that
तो
near
कन्हैया
her
के
his
छोटे से
face,
मुख में यशोदा ने
the small
विश्वम सहसा,
Krishna's,
छोटे से कृष्ण के
uh,
मुख में यशोदा ने विश्व
she
को देखा।
sees the
माँ
whole
दिखाने
world
की
or
बात
the
जब देखा तो
universe.
अलग चीज है,
So
वो तो
what she
कृष्ण बड़े हुए बाद में,
saw
ये तो
when
गोद में
he
सोए हैं, छोटा सा लाला है,
ate
और
mud,
दूध
that was
पीते
different
पीते
time
यशोदा
when
की
he was
दृष्टि
little
गई,
elder.
तो
But
कृष्ण
when
के
she
छोटे
was
से मुख
feeding,
में
and
विश्वम
in
सहसा।
her small mouth she
हे
sees the
राजन,
whole
यशोदा
world
ने
or
देखा
universe. O
ब्रह्मांड
king,
विश्व उसके अंदर देखा, क्या
Mother
देखा,
Yashoda saw the
कृष्ण के
whole
छोटे से
universe.
मुख में आकाश,
In her small
अंतरिक्ष,
mouth she saw
ज्योतिमंडल, दिशाएं,
the
सूर्य,
constellations,
चंद्रमा,
sky,
अग्नि, वायु, समुद्र, बड़े बड़े
sun,
द्वीप,
moon,
पर्वत, अनेकों नदियां, वन,
mountains,
चर अचर,
continents,
समस्त प्राणी,
rivers,
माँ
all the living
यशोदा उस
entities
कन्हैया के छोटे से मुख
were
में
in
दूध
the
पिलाते
mouth
समय देखी,
of
वो बड़ी
Lord
विस्मित
while
हो गई।
feeding
सम्मिल्य
the Lord, and she
मृग
became
सावाक्षी
amazed.
नेत्रे आस्वित विस्मिता। सुखदेव जी अंत में कहते हैं माँ
Vismita
यशोदा विस्मित हो
is,
गई।
she was amazed, surprised.
यशोदा को तो हम बाद में देखेंगे,
So we will
पहले कन्हैया ने
look
अपने मुख में
at
ब्रह्मांड क्यों दिखाया, ये आचार्य क्यों
Yashoda
नहीं
later,
पकड़ते,
but
थोड़ा इस पर चिंतन
let's
करते हैं।
try to understand why
कृष्ण
Krishna
जब
revealed this
से
to
एक
Mother
साल के भी
Yashoda
ठीक से नहीं
when
हुए
he
थे
was not even 1 year
और माता
old
का दूध पी रहे थे,
and he
तब
was
यशोदा को
getting
गोद में
fed by Mother
ब्रह्मांड
Yashoda,
दिखाया क्यों?
and the whole universe
आचार्य
was
ने बहुत
shown
सुंदर
to
उत्प्रेक्षण
her
किया।
by him. So the
कृष्ण ने
scholars
सोचा कि
have
मैं कौन,
given
मैं
their
स्वयं
perspectives
जगत
on that.
स्वरूप हूँ।
So
कृष्ण
Krishna
कौन?
says that
मैं स्वयं
I
जगत
am
नहीं हूँ,
the
मेरे से ही
universe
जगत बना
personified.
है।
So this
ईशावास्यं
whole
इदं
universe
सर्वं यत्किंचित् जगत्
has
जगत्।
been generated from me.
तो कृष्ण ने सोचा कि मैं
So
जगत
Krishna
हूँ
thought I
और
am
ये
the world
यशोदा मेरी
itself
माँ है।
and she is my mother.
कृष्ण ने क्या सोचा, मैं जगत हूँ, ठीक है,
I
और
am the
यशोदा
world
मेरी माँ है।
and
तो
she
यशोदा
is my
किसकी माँ
mother.
हुई?
So who is
जगत की
she
माँ।
the mother? So she is the mother of
मैं
the
जगत
whole
हूँ
universe
और यशोदा मेरी माँ है।
because
तो
Yashoda is my mother
यशोदा जगत
and
की माँ
I am
हुई।
this material universe. So
तो यशोदा
she is also the
मुझे
mother of
दूध
the
पिला
material
रही
universe.
है,
So she
तो
is
मेरे साथ
feeding me.
पूरे जगत को दूध पिलाना चाहिए।
So she should feed
देखो
all
टेक्निकल देखो, मैं जगत हूँ, यशोदा
the
मेरी माँ है,
living
तो
entities
यशोदा
or the
पूरे जगत
whole
की माँ
material
है।
world.
यशोदा दूध पिलाकर मेरा पोषण कर रही है,
So she is
लेकिन
nurturing
वो केवल
me
मेरी
by
माँ नहीं,
feeding
जगत
me.
की माँ है, तो पूरे
But
जगत
she
का
is
पोषण
not
करना चाहिए।
just my mother,
इसलिए
but the whole
कृष्ण ने
universe.
अपने मुख में पूरे
Therefore,
ब्रह्मांड को प्रकट कर दिया,
Krishna showed
ताकि कृष्ण
the whole
अपना तो
material
पोषण
universe
करे,
so that
पूरे
he could
ब्रह्मांड का
nourish,
पोषण करे।
get nourished, but also
इसलिए
he
छोटे
could
से
get
कन्हैया ने
the whole material
पीते
universe
समय अपने
nurtured.
मुख में
That is
ब्रह्मांड
why, while
प्रकट
drinking, he
किया और यशोदा को दिखाया।
manifested this whole
ओके,
universe and showed
तो एक
to Mother
कारण हुआ,
Yashoda.
दूसरा कारण
This is the first reason. The
कि
second
माता
reason being
यशोदा का दूध
that
पीते
Mother
हुए
Yashoda
कृष्ण ने
milk
यशोदा
when
को
he was
अपने मुख में
getting fed
ब्रह्मांड
on
क्यों
that.
दिखाया?
Why did
ये
he
एक
showed
साल से कृष्ण
this
माता का
material?
दूध पी रहे थे ना,
Since one
तो
year he
कृष्ण
had been
कंटाल
drinking the
गए
milk,
थे। कंटाला
he
क्यों?
had become bored.
एक एक डायलॉग सुनकर कृष्ण परेशान हो गए थे, और वो कौन सा डायलॉग था जानते हैं?
And what was the
माता
dialogue?
यशोदा थोड़ा सा दूध पिलाए,
Mother
फिर यशोदा
Yashoda used
कहती
to
थी
give
लाला
little milk,
और कितना दूध
and then
पिएगा,
she used to
छोड़
say
दिया।
that how much more you will drink.
कृष्ण तो
Now
बहुत
just
दूध
leave it.
पीना चाहते थे, लेकिन
Krishna
यशोदा
wants to drink more and
रोज
more.
जब भी दूध
But
पिलाती थी थोड़े
daily
टाइम के बाद, अब कितना
Yashoda
दूध
Maiya
पिएगा,
used to say,
ऐसे
how
करके
much more
कृष्ण को
you're going to
थकाती
drink?
थी।
And she used to stop
अब
him.
कृष्ण को ये पता चल गया था
So
कि ये
Krishna
रोज
has
मुझे दूध तो
realized it,
पिलाती है, लेकिन ये
that
सोचती है कि
daily
ये
she
कितना
feeds
दूध
me,
पिएगा, कितना दूध
but she thinks
पिएगा।
that how much he's going to
तब
drink.
कृष्ण यशोदा को दिखाना
Then
चाहते हैं कि
Krishna
माँ,
wants to
दूध
show
तो मैं
Mother
ज्यादा
Yashoda,
पीता हूँ,
I drink
लेकिन
more
ज्यादा
milk.
दूध पीने के पीछे कारण
But
ये
the
है
reason
कि मैं
behind
अकेला
that
नहीं
is
पी
that
रहा हूँ,
I don't
मेरे
drink
मुख में
only
पूरा
for
ब्रह्मांड
myself.
है,
The
ये
whole
पूरा
material
ब्रह्मांड
universe
दूध
is
पी
in
रहा है।
within me. So the
ये
whole
केवल ये
material
डायलॉग नहीं
universe
माँ
is
कि और कितना
drinking the
पिएगा,
milk.
कितना पिएगा।
So you
हालांकि
should not
छोटी सी
say
केवल एक
such
श्लोक की
that how
लीला,
much more you're going
लेकिन
to drink. So
आचार्यों ने इस पर कितना चिंतन किया,
such
कितनी उच्च
beautiful
दशा में आचार्य अपने
three
आप को
verses,
पहुंचाए
and
होंगे,
but
तब
the
जाकर के
acharyas have
भावनाएं प्रकट
beautifully
होती है, और यही
presented these
भावनाएं
commentaries
हमारी
and
भक्ति को
mellows
श्रृंगार
they
करती
have
हैं,
developed
हमारी
by
भक्ति को नचा देती हैं।
performing the devotional
ये
service
सब स्मरण करने के
so
विषय हैं।
seriously. So
यदि आप
these are
स्थल
all the
पर
things
पहुंचे
that
ना,
we should
तो ये
remember
सारी बातें स्मरण करने में, कभी
if
कभी
we
हरि नाम जाप
remember the
करते समय ये
while
बात याद
chanting
आई तो
the
हमारा
holy name.
चैंटिंग भी
If
सुधर
we remember
जाएगा।
this, then we will improvise on
तो ये
our
स्मरण
chanting
ये
as
कर
well.
दिया।
So these are all things that we should remember.
ओके, किसी एक आचार्य ने
So then other
एक कारण
acharya
बताया, सुनिए।
has given
माँ
another
यशोदा
reason
कृष्ण को दूध पिला रही है,
why Mother
और यशोदा का
Yashoda,
स्तनपान करते हुए कृष्ण ने अपने
while
छोटे से मुख
she
में
is
ब्रह्मांड
feeding
दिखाया।
Krishna, then
क्या
at that time
सोचा
Krishna reveals the whole material
भगवान
universe.
ने सोचा
Why? The Lord thought
कि यशोदा यशोदा माँ
that Mother
बिना कपट किए
Yashoda, without any
अपने
conceit
हृदय
or
में जो
deceit,
कुछ भी है मुझे सब
whatever
कुछ
is
दे
in her
रही है।
heart, she's giving
ये
to
माँ
me.
है,
She's a
और इसलिए
mother,
बिना कपट किए अपने
and
हृदय
without
में
any
जो
conceit
है
or deceit,
वो मुझे दे रही है।
whatever she has
अपने
in her
हृदय
heart,
में
she's
जो कुछ भी
offering
है
me,
सब कुछ दे रही है।
and she's giving
जब
everything in
माँ
her heart
अपने
to me.
हृदय की
So
चीज
when
छुपा नहीं रही है,
Mother is not
तो फिर
hiding
मैं
anything
अपने
from
अंदर
me,
की बात क्यों
then
छिपाऊं?
how can I hide
जब
what
माँ
is
अपने
in
हृदय की
me?
सारी चीज मुझे दिखा रही है,
So
दे
when
रही है,
she's showing
तो
and
मैं भी
giving
मेरे
everything
अंदर
to
जो
me,
पूरा ब्रह्मांड
then
है
I should
वो भी
also
दिखा दूं। वो बेचारी
show him
कपट नहीं कर
whatever I
रही है,
have.
तो मैं
When
क्यों
she's
कपट
not
करूं?
deceitful,
यह
then why should
सोचकर
I be
कृष्ण ने
deceitful?
अपने
So
मुख में
thinking this,
ब्रह्मांड का दर्शन कराया।
Krishna showed the whole
तो
universe
छोटे से
in his
कन्हैया
mouth
ने
to Mother
ब्रह्मांड का
Yashoda.
दर्शन कराया।
So in this
भगवान
manner,
श्री कृष्ण माँ यशोदा को
Lord Shri
सम्मान, और एक
Krishna
कारण बता देता हूँ।
showed Mother Yashoda the
जब
universe. So let me share another
उससे
reason.
पहले ही वो तृणावर्त कृष्ण को
So
लेकर चला गया
previously,
था।
Trinavat has taken
जब
Krishna,
तृणावर्त वो हवा में कृष्ण उड़ गए, वो लेकर चले
and
गए,
when
तब से यशोदा को
Krishna
चिंता थी
was
कि
flowed
उस दिन
by
क्या भला
Trinavrat,
होगा
so Mother
कि मेरे
Yashoda
बेटे का
was
वजन
worried
बढ़
that
गया है,
it
कि मेरा
might
बेटा
be a
बेचारा
doubt
कितना
in
हल्का
my
फूल
heart
जैसा
that
है, हैं? और
my
इसको
son
कौन
has
उठा कर लेकर जाता है,
gained weight,
हैं?
but it
तब
was
यशोदा ने
my
इस चिंता को
illusion
दूर
because
करने के
he's
लिए कि माँ
so small
मैं
a
कोई
tender,
हल्का नहीं हूँ, मेरे
and
मुख में देख
anybody
पूरा
picks him,
ब्रह्मांड बैठा है,
picks.
तो
So
मुझे
Krishna
लेकर
wants
जाना
to
मुझे
reveal that
उठाना
I'm
आसान
not
नहीं
any
है,
ordinary person. It's
इसलिए
not
तू ये
easy
सब
to
चिंता
carry me.
छोड़ दे।
So you should not be worried
इस
about
प्रकार से
me.
भगवान श्री कृष्ण
So
यहाँ
in this
लीला
manner,
कर रहे हैं। श्रीमद् भागवत जी
Krishna
में
is
सुखदेव
performing his
गोस्वामी
pastime.
ने
In
भगवान श्री
Srimad
कृष्ण की
Bhagavatam, Shukdev
कुछ
Goswami
लीलाओं का वर्णन किया, कुछ नहीं
has
किया,
mentioned a
परंतु
few pastimes and he
गर्ग संहिता
didn't
में ब्रह्म
disclose
वैवर्त
some.
में और
So
सूरदास
in
जी ने
Brahma Samhita and in Garg
भगवान श्री
Samhita and
कृष्ण
Brahma
की
Vaivar,
अन्य लीलाओं का भी
the
वर्णन किया।
other pastimes
और
of
एक
Lord
लीला
Shri Krishna are
सूरदास जी
described.
की भाषा में सुनिए,
So
सूरदास
let's
बाबा और एक लीला सुनाते हैं।
hear one pastime from Surdas ji.
कागरूप एक दनुज धर्यो, एकागरूप एक दनुज धर्यो, नृप आय सुले धरि माथे पर, हर्षवंत गजब भर्यो, एक दनुज रूप धर्यो। भागवत जी में नहीं है,
So
सूरदास
this
जी
is
और
not from Bhagavatam, this is the verse from
एक बार क्या
Surdas
हुआ,
ji. So once what
नृप
happened,
आयसु, नृप माने कंस, राजा कंस,
Drip Ayusu, so King
सो
Krans,
नृप आयसु, राजा कंस की आयसु माने आज्ञा,
Ayusu
राजा
means
कंस की आज्ञा लेकर,
order
राजा
or
कंस की आज्ञा
permission.
अपने सर
So
पर
by
माथे पर
taking the
लेकर
permission of the king
हर्षवंत,
on his head,
हर्षित होकर और
Harishvant
हृदय में
being
गजब
very
अभिमान भर्यो, अपने हृदय में अभिमान लेकर
happiness and
एक
pride,
असुर मथुरा
one
से
demon
गोकुल में आया।
came to Gokul from
और वह
Mathura.
असुर ने कौन सा रूप धारण किया?
And what
काग
form he
रूप,
took? He took the form of
कौवे
a
का रूप
crow.
धारण किया। इसलिए सूरदास जी कहते हैं काग रूप
Therefore,
एक दनुज, दनुज
Surdas
माने
ji say,
असुर, demon,
Kagarup ek Danuj.
तो एक
Danuj
दानव,
is
एक
demon
असुर
and Kag
कौवे
is
का
a
रूप लेकर,
crow.
काग
So
रूप
he took
लेकर
the form of a
कागासुर के
crow
रूप में कृष्ण
and he
के पास
came as
आया।
Kagasur.
कंस ने फरमान जारी किया
As
कि देखो
Kansa
तुम्हें
has
गोकुल में
ordered that
जाना है
you have to
और
go
नंद
to
यशोदा का
Gokul
जो बेटा है कृष्ण,
and
उसे
kill
तुम्हें मारना है।
the son
तब
of
इस
Nand and
असुर ने कहा
Yashoda.
कि भाई वो
So this
कितना बड़ा
demon,
है?
how
कंस
old
ने कहा
is he?
1 साल का।
He said
अरे
he's just 1 year old.
छोटे छोटे काम के लिए हमको
So
क्यों
you're
बुलाते हो,
sending me
हैं?
for such a small task.
1 साल के लड़के को मारने
The
के लिए
1 year
क्या
old
फूल
child you want
फूल
to
है,
kill,
मतलब
and you're
चील को मारने के लिए सिंह को
asking
भेज
me
रहे
to
हो।
do that. You're
इसलिए सूरदास
sending
जी कहते
a
हैं कितकी
lion
कार्य
to
प्रभु
kill
तुम
a
आये
mouse.
सूते,
Therefore, Surdas
ये
ji says,
कृष्ण को मारना कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
what is a great achievement in
आप एक
killing
काम
Krishna?
करो, कृष्ण को
You
मरा
should do
हुआ ही
one thing.
समझिए। आपके
You
पास
should
एक
consider that
पेपर है,
he's already
उसमें
dead.
लिख दीजिए वो मर गया,
You should write
क्योंकि
on the
इतना
paper that
कॉन्फिडेंस
he's
में
already dead. He
सूरदास
is
जी
so
कहते हैं कि
overconfident.
जब कंस ने फरमान जारी किया
When
कि तुम गोकुल जाओ और
Kansa
वहां जाकर उसको
gave
मार
this
के आओ,
order that you should go
इसने
to
कहा मर
Gokul
गया,
and kill him,
कुछ
he
लोग
said
की
that you
स्टाइल में
consider
कि
he's
भाई ये काम
already
कैसे
dead.
किया, हो गया, मैंने कहा ना हो गया।
So consider it
अरे
done.
भाई करके तो आओ,
So
मतलब उसको
first you
कॉन्फिडेंस
finish
होता
it,
है कि मैं कर ही
but
दूंगा
they
भाई,
have so
मैं
much
करता हूँ,
confidence
मेरी
that I will
प्रैक्टिस
be
है,
able to do it.
इसलिए कहते हैं, हो
That
गया।
this is my
फिर
practice
उस
and I
असुर
can
ने
do it.
कहा कि
He
देखिए
says
आप
that
तो
you
प्रभु आए
consider it
सूते
to
हैं,
be done.
वह जानो मो मात मरियो, वो मात वो मर गया समझ लो आप।
You consider that he's dead.
और इतनी कही गोकुल उड़ आयो,
And he
वो
came
कागासुर कौवे का
flying
रूप लेकर
to
गोकुल में
Gokul in
उड़ते
the
उड़ते
form of
आया
a crow.
और आई नंद घर छाज रहियो, और आकर नंद बाबा के प्रांगण में
And
मंडराने लगा। छोटा सा कौवा
started
बनकर आया, मंडराने लगा।
flying in the veranda of Mother Yashoda and then Baba, and Krishna was sleeping in the swing, and while sleeping, he sees Krishna saw that Kagasur is here. My uncle is sending great toys for me. The first he gave a baby doll, opposite of Barbie girl, that is Putna. The Krishna and children has this tendency to break whatever the toy might be. So the uncle is sending the toys and the child is breaking them off. Then he sent Shakat. So that also is a toy that was also broken. Now he has sent a crow. So although he's small, but he's going to do great job. So he thinks that before he troubles others, I will close his case. So Krishna is in this cradle. So he cannot come out, but he's crawling, and then by crawling, he came near to this crow. This crow thought that in a few moments I will grab him, but before he could be grabbed, although it is very easy pastime, but Krishna grabbed him by his throat. So he got hold of his neck and started rotating him. And while rotating him, he didn't kill him. He just revolved him. Sometimes people kill less and drag more. So he was rotated in so many rounds that he became half unconscious, and then he threw him that he went or reached back to the king. That Rip is the king, Kansa. Pasuparyo means it came back. So Kansa says that you were making such great talks that you consider it to be done, and instead of killing him, you came dead. So how did you came back, return back without even completing the job I have assigned you?
बोले प्रभु
He said, "Oh, master, I'm going where? I'm dying. These are my last breath. I don't know how he squeezed my neck. I just am left with only few breaths." He said, "I just came here to convey a message." And what is the message? You can see in the second line. Listen, Kans, I came here to give you this message that your death is very near. You should start counting your days because you think that he's an ordinary child. He's the father of your father. So small Kanhaiya just grabbed his neck. He could remember all his grandmother, and he became the nerd of all the Vedas. He says that he's not any ordinary person. He's an incarnation of the Lord. He is Mahabali, and with just one hand he has removed my pride, destroyed my pride. So in this manner, Surdas Baba says that Lord Shri Krishna has liberated this Kagasur, and he came just to convey the message to Kans. And because he died by the hands of the Lord, he became liberated. And Kans realized, and then he will send Vatsalya, which we will listen tomorrow. So, what happened now? That Krishna became little elder, and he stopped drinking the mother's milk and started eating butter, sugar candy. Okay. So she wants to feed him with the milk, but cow's milk, but he doesn't want to drink. And Yashoda wakes Krishna and bathes him. He doesn't want to bathe as well. Forcefully, she will bathe him. And then he doesn't want to wear the clothes as well. Mother Yashoda bedecks him with ornaments and clothes and decorate him. And then she will say that, Kanaya, you should drink milk. Say that I will just drink butter. So you cannot eat too much of butter. Everything should be in proportion. So you should drink milk. When he refused blatantly, and mother wants to feed milk, then Mother Yashoda used to say, if you drink the milk, then your hair will grow longer like Balramji. Balramji is elder, so obviously his hair were longer and Krishna's were less. And children usually have like to compete with each other. So that you want to have longer hair, then you should drink this milk. Krishna used to drink, and then he stand in front of mirror that I've drank the whole milk, but my hair have not become longer. I will just drink, eat butter. I don't want to drink milk the next. So whenever she used to tell about the hair, and he used to take care, and Sudha she writes this.
कब ही बढ़ेगी चोटी है जी मैया कब ही बढ़ेगी चोटी कीती बार मोहि दूध पिबत भई यह अजहूँ है छोटी कब ही बढ़ेगी चोटी मैया कब ही बढ़ेगी चोटी कब ही
Oh,
बढ़ेगी
mother, well will my hair increase in length. He told me so many times that my hair will increase in length, but my hair are not growing. And he says,
बलकी बेनी जो है लांबी मोटी मैया तू कहती है कि बलराम की तरह तेरी चोटी लंबी हो
you
जाए
say that like Balramji, your hair will rise or grow as well. But my hair are not growing so fast. And I have understood that you're just giving an excuse and you want to feed me with this milk, and you don't give me butter nor chapati, just giving me raw milk that your hair will increase. You have been lying to me, oh mother. When I will grow, and I will go to
तो मेरे
Mathura.
बाबा के लिए धोती लाऊंगा, लेकिन
I will
तेरे लिए
bring
साड़ी नहीं
dhoti
लाऊंगा।
for father, but no sari for
वही
you
दूध माखन नहीं देती हैं,
because you don't
केवल दूध पिलाती हैं।
give me butter and you just
मुझे ये
feed
भी
me
मालूम
on
पड़
milk.
जाना कि कल
If
ये
someone
किसका
asks me,
बेटा है, तो मैं कभी
whose
नहीं
son
कहूंगा
am
यशोदा का
I
बेटा
will
हूँ,
never say I am
मैं
the
यही
son of
कहूंगा कि मैं
Yashoda.
नंद का
I
बेटा
will
हूँ।
say I am the son of Nand Baba.
इस प्रकार से
So, in
तोतली
this
भाषा
manner,
में भगवान श्री कृष्ण
in half broken
माँ
speech, Lord
यशोदा
Shri
के
Krishna
साथ लाड लड़ा रहे हैं
used
और
to
प्रेम रस का आस्वादन कर
exchange
रहे हैं।
affection with Mother
तो ये है
Yashoda
ब्रज की
and
वात्सल्य
enjoying
लीला।
the parental loving
इसी लीला को
affection
हम आगे श्रवण करते
relationship.
रहेंगे, अपना
So, this
जीवन
is the
प्रज्वलित
Leela of Braj,
करेंगे।
and we will keep on listening to the same
आप सभी
and
भक्तों ने बड़े धैर्य से इस कथा का
benefit
श्रवण
us.
किया।
So, you all
आप
have been
सभी
listening
भक्तों
with
का
great
धन्यवाद
patience.
और
I'm
विशेष
extremely thankful
धन्यवाद
to all of
इस
you.
कथा का
Especially
आयोजन
want to
करके
thank the
हम सभी
organizers of this
इस
katha
वात्सल्य लीला का परम
by giving us
सौभाग्य
this
देने वाले
opportunity to listen
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
the
से श्री
these
नलिनी
pastimes
माता
of childhood of
और
Lord Shri
दिल्ली से
Krishna,
आशा
Shri
शर्मा
Nalina
माता,
Mata from
आपका भूरी भूरी
Australia
बधाई
and Asha
और
Mataji
आशीर्वाद
from
प्राप्त हुआ।
India, Delhi,
आइए
that we got this
इन्हीं विचारों के
opportunity because
साथ
of you.
हम
So let's
चौथे दिन
conclude
की कथा का
the fourth
आरंभ करते
day's
हैं।
katha with Jai Jaikar.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान